Stage 14 of the Dakar is camel grass, and after that, well, there's a little more camel grass. However, Kari Tiernan, he was so far ahead of the rest, he was waiting for them all to arrive. Whilst in the car section, Jean-Louis Schlesser was back on form. He beat all the rest. However, let's just look back at what happened yesterday over the top of the Naga Pass on the looping stage that took the crews around from Tajika back to the same venue with a stage of 513 kilometers. This pass with a reputable reputation, and the place had to be crossed several times. The route alternating between fast and a sort of a trials type of going. And with the assistance vehicles staying at the bivouac, you can see why they had to stay home. Not a good day for one of the competing KTM trucks though. Their world turned literally upside down. And only with the help of two other vehicles did the poor truck have to go not directly onto its wheels, but the three sides of the square route back onto its wheels. And even then it didn't work the first time. Eventually they had to dig in a little more and get it over the last time. The American Kia racing mechanics giving a hand, because when you're out in the middle of the desert, well, you need all the help you can get. KTM mechanics saying we're obviously happy that we got the help and that we can get to the bivouac to fix the motorbikes this evening, but tomorrow is another day. There is pleasure and pain on the Dakar like no other sporting event on the planet. Stunning views, but endless pain. Get a little stuck, but once they're going, everybody gets back to the bivouac. However, some return very, very late indeed. Here we see motorcycle 82 Richard Thouvelin returning absolutely banjaxed. The medical crews just behind him saying he's very dehydrated. He asked to stop for 30 minutes earlier so that at least he could get some food and get some drink inside him. Richard telling us, I was sure I could not finish, but it was for you guys who saw me on the floor. I hadn't drunk enough and then I got lost. And then the GPS failed. I must have done 100 kilometers more and then the fuel pump broke. Tonight I wonder why I do the Dakar. There is nothing left of the bike. It is just too hard, too difficult. And with 200 kilograms of bike in the dark, it's too hard.
200 kilos,
He says, though, this is from my daughter, Matilda. It is why I have been lucky today, I'm sure.
C'est ça qui me porte bonheur, c'est sûr. C'est ça que je vais aller jusqu'au bout.
So then, after a long stage yesterday, a relatively short one today as we go further inland to the east into Central Africa. The stage from Tijika to Tijit, 230 kilometers. The finish right at the bivouac itself. The village of Tijit, very, very picturesque indeed. Well, it was Kari Tiernen from Finland who was victorious yesterday. His first ever Dakar stage win. And likewise yesterday, Heinz Kinnegartner seeing the KTM bikes off the line. He did the same today as they sped into the camel grass. The sand extremely soft, but at least there were no control points for the crews to navigate themselves to today. It was just a hell for leather blat from one place to the other. Tiernan quickest, and Britain's John Deacon was chasing him hard though. Deacon caught up with the lead group and indeed thought that he had done enough to win the special. But then he did a head count of the group around him and realised that someone was missing. Deacon though, not without his problems. Deacon tried to speed ahead of the rest, but realised he'd left it too late. Deacon was second today, but even then, 14.5 minutes off Tiernan. Tiernan, though, joining the exclusive club of riders who have won from the front, navigating their own way and not following anyone else. Tiernan will be celebrating, I'm sure, this evening with even a few more beers than he had last night. What of the other KTMs? Well, Sala and Mione and Cox all teamed up together, and the KTM unofficial team orders surely coming to the fore as they approach the white sands at Tijit. Sala eventually coming home in third place, 16.5 minutes back. However, looking for a train even. He's looking for all of the other KTM teammates. Jean Brucy was fifth, just behind Jordi Arcarons. So today at least the leading BMW in amongst the KTMs was John Deacon.
It's one of those things where you just have to
Johnny
really
Campbell.
come and experience it, almost like any desert race. It's an enthusiast sport. You want to experience it yourself. It is just so vast, you know, it makes anything I do back home like a go-kart race or something. This is quite incredible, just how large this continent is with just absolutely nothing. You know, no convenience stores, barely a gas station with a barrel of fuel every once in a while, and that's about it. These people live pretty remote compared to even Baja. So I'm thoroughly amazed by the vastness of this all. Oh, there goes PG. PG's been on a mission all week. He's been having a few troubles. So I just gotta let him go because he rides really fast.
Johnny Campbell keeping in touch with our helicopter there. Johnny eventually 11th on the stage today, leading in the Yakko class, however, once he had returned to the bivouac. Esteve Puyol was 9th behind South Africa's Alfie Cox, whilst Jimmy Lewis, the other American on his BMW, he was in 10th place but struggling with his wrists, continuing to be in trouble. Cyril, the Frenchman, he was 13th today, just behind another Frenchman, Desprez. Another finish. This is Tiernan waiting those 14 minutes and 32 seconds for the rest to arrive. My goodness me, Tiernan's done 5 Dakars. He wins his first stage yesterday. You wait for a bus, and they all turn up at the same time. So Tiernan victorious by 14.5 minutes from John Deacon. Sala, Archerons and Brucey as good as tied together. The KTMs just trying to get themselves home, as is denoted by the overall rankings. Mioni, Archerons, Tugavado, Esteve Puyol and Cox. A clean sweep. Finland's carried Tiernan saying, I just know that I was nearly 15 minutes ahead of the others. I don't know why, but today was another good day for me. He, of course, speaking before the others had arrived. I like this this sort of finish, but in the camel grass, it's like as if you're on a boat. You have to catch and find a good rhythm. If you get that rhythm, you fly, and then you don't feel the bumps on the road. I like it.
It's quite short, and I didn't think it would really suit me because it's tight and twisty, suit me or the bike, but you know, I don't always read the rule book, so it was very nice. I caught the other group and then realised Carrie was long ahead, so I pushed on past them, but it's difficult in the camel grass, and I hope I don't ever see any more camel grass because I just hate it. But yeah, it's okay, my best results so far, and it's still quite a long way to go to Dakar, so fingers crossed, anything can happen.
Una giornata
Mioni saying it was a day without any problems, but just running. It's that kind of road that I like a lot, and I would like to take it flat out. But this year, it's different. We have a target to get our bikes together all the way to Dakar. Then we have to manage the bikes and, of course, our physical capabilities.
Che è quello di andare in economia di meccanica e in economia anche fisica, per cercare di non fare errori e di arrivare senza inceppi fino a Dakar.
It was only a short stage, 250 kilometers, but very thick sand, soft, and today I really had fun on the KTM rally bike. It was incredible, just very easy to ride, and you know, not difficult, nice way, one piece all the way, one track, and I really enjoyed my bike today, and yeah, we wait, tomorrow's a long day.
This is Elisabetta Jacinto, the Portuguese lady rider, arriving in Cairo last year. However, this year she's not been so lucky. This year she's without no service truck, after it was that service truck which ran over that landmine earlier in the Dakar in northern Mauritania. Elisabetta is saying to us, to do the Dakar alone is very, very difficult. I have no mechanics, but Pedro behind me here, he's here to help me, so today we have to work together on the bike. Pedro getting stuck in and helping Elisabetta. But yesterday on the looping stage, she and Pedro deliberately missed a couple of control points to just conserve energy in order to stay in the rally. However, the motorcycle getting the better of her now and again. physical limits have been reached.
Ontem à noite a pista era muito difícil e acabei por cair muitas vezes.
Elizabeth saying that last night on the road it was very, very hard and I fell over many times. I fell on my foot and it folded underneath me and I've broken 3 bones, but they've put a support on my foot so tomorrow I can continue, even if getting my boot on may be a problem. After that, I should be okay. I mean, I've done 300 kilometers before with a broken collarbone anyway, so tomorrow will be hard, but I will be okay. Well, a relatively short stage, so therefore a bit of a sprint stage for Frenchman Jean-Louis Schlesser in his Schlesser buggy. Obviously altered the suspension a little. It seems to be kicking quite a bit from the rear, rather more than it did a couple of stages ago. The number 200 machine going well and victorious, but only by 24 seconds over Sousa. On board here with the Portuguese. However, he's got a French co-driver saying, watch out, we've got a rock on the right. And soon a bit of humour comes into things. Co-driver saying, I'll show you what we've got in our food bag today. What is it today, says Carlos? Well, we've got a bit of bread, we've got some energy bars, we've got a sausage, we've got a bit of a rubbish bag.
Et puis, compote, un petit peu de pâté. Ah, un petit morceau de fromage aussi.
A little bit of cheese.
Et
and even some peanuts
pour l'apéritif.
When we can have our aperitif later. Sousa coming through in the longer wheelbase Mitsubishi, second position. Just those 24 seconds back of Schlesser. But Schlesser was quick. Even in the first 50 kilometers, he was up by 10 seconds on the rest. Third today, the Frenchman Jean-Pierre Fontenay, recovered now after his steering rack went amiss yesterday. That lost him time. Fontenay only a minute and 12 back of Schlesser. Servia in the sister Schlesser buggy, the Spaniard 3 minutes and 21 seconds behind the winner. Servia fourth today. Servia then coming down onto the white sand plains into Tijit, passing Shinazuka. And over the edge they had to go to come down onto the low plain in Tijit. Spectacular scenery once more on the Dakar. Look at the difference. A bit lower down, not so much vegetation, and the sand really has changed colour. Hiroshi Mashioka, fifth today, giving away only 3.5 minutes. However, he continues to lead the rally overall by nearly 34 minutes. The Japanese driver in his Pajero doing a sterling job. However, you'd look at him on the road, you'd hardly tell he was slowing down at all, taking the camel grass and the vegetation with him. No time to enjoy the views though for his teammate Shinazuka, nor Jutta Kleinschmidt. Kleinschmidt was 6th, Shinazuka was 7th on the stage today. The Mitsubishi's trying to topple the Schlesser buggy on the stage, but not quite victorious. Shinazuka bumping his way through the slowest section of the entire stage at around the halfway point, with Ulsterman Fred Gallagher calling the notes. Tenth today was Stefan Orard with his Volkswagen buggy, but a few places ahead of him was Thierry Delavan. Therefore, Delavan, the leading Mitsubishi today, however, giving away 14.5 minutes. Still a cooling problem with the Nissans. continuing with his turbo diesel injection buggy, and this is a true meaning of understeer. The sand oh so soft, another rear-wheel drive machine, that of Bruno Sabi with his Ford buggy. And Gregoire de Mavius, 11th today. He suffered badly yesterday with 4 separate punctures. On board here with Etienne Milovici. It's always sandy on the road, and every morning I wake up to a new race, a new rally. Dakar is a long way away, and every time we arrive, every evening we sometimes have some problems, but we've had to stop today with a gear linkage problem for 10 minutes. The results then, Schlesser back on form, however 24 seconds will not be enough to eke into the overall leader, Masuoka. That was the stage today, very short and very close. Masuoka though leading by as good as 34 minutes from Schlesser, Sousa, Kleinschmidt and Serbia. Schlesser here saying it was a short stage without any problems for us. We took Masuoka after about 80 kilometers and we followed him when he had a puncture. After the track was easy, losing his hat, but we had to take care with our navigation, which was not as evident on the last part of the stage. I don't know if we gained any time today, but that's what we're aiming to do all the way to the end of the rally, and therefore put maximum pressure on him. Carlos Sousa here saying a short stage, but not really easy. We followed the tracks of Schlesser and we were relatively slow. At the end of the stage, in the camel grass, we had to eat a lot of it, but the stage was slow, and that's a good thing after the last 2 days that we had. The monsters of the desert continued on. And right from the start, right out of the blocks, the Japanese quick against the Vicino, Caloi and Breton Hino. The Japanese squad versus the French squad, but of course in Japanese trucks, the Hinos. Leading overall though, Carol Laprace and Josef Kalina. Only 2 crew listed in this truck, even though there are 3 in the Tatra. T4 class, a separate class for racing trucks, most of them well over 10 tons and well over 800 horsepower. A battle between the Hinos, the Mercedes, the MANs, the Renaults, and of course the Tatras and the Kamaz. Tomorrow a day back in business with the longer stage from Tajit to Neymar. Still in Mauritania, a stage of as good as 500 kilometers. That's over 300 miles in length. Still going further inland to Black Africa. The Dakar 2001 continues. It is not over yet.
Harry, Tripoli, Dakar.